I'm gonna roast the hell out of Harry Potter fans. I'm gonna roast the hell out of Harry Potter tourists. I'm gonna roast the hell out of anybody who expected anything different than Harry Potter race swaps. I'm gonna laugh at everybody for thinking the end wasn't that fantastic Beast series, which was an absolute abomination. I watched that late last year. Somebody finally was like, "No, no, you've got to understand how bad it is. Go watch it." Oh my god, that series ended exactly how nobody wanted it to end. But I'm gonna roast everybody for this because J.K. Rowling has a history of saying she wants to race swap characters and that it doesn't matter what race the character is. That's right, J.K. Rowling doesn't care that you have a favorite character. All that matters is that you bend the knee to the religious zealots who want to destroy identity, who only care about identity politics. You know, the same people J.K. Rowling has been battling for like the last, I don't know, 10 years, where they say men can be women and women can be men. You know, those same people where she stepped out of line when she was okay with the race swapping of characters, but as soon as her feminism doesn't match up with their modern day religious zealotry about men and women are interchangeable. Now she's under attack and they're trying to get her arrested, but still she goes along with this, you know, you can race swap everything. And before anybody says that has never happened, she's never agreed that you can interchangeably race swap anybody in her series. This article is 8 years old in 2016. J.K. Rowling tells of anger at attacks on casting of Black Harmony. You know, J.K. Rowling said, I had a bunch of racists telling me that because Hermione turned white, that is, lost color in her face after a shock, that she must be a white woman. Now, look, I'm not a smart man, but I can promise you, other than Beyonce dyeing her skin to look white and Michael Jackson getting surgery to look white, people who are melanated don't just turn white, okay? That's not reality. That is actually fantasy, where this, you know, could theoretically happen, but, you know, it never has because it only has to be race swapped in real life. You know, we can have that discussion that no black person has been scared white except as a joke meme, okay? That has never actually happened, and it's never going to happen. And I know that's hard for the religious zealots who are advocating for interchangeability of identities and saying it doesn't matter until, you know, they need to put it on a big screen because they can't keep any of the original characters because they have no original thought and they can't make up a good character, which is kind of the same thing that happened to John Boyega, where they had the potential of a good character and then they just don't know how to write good characters. So John Boyega's character got pushed to the back of the line, you know, where I did an entire video. He was so close to getting the right answer. He was on the cusp of greatness. He was about to achieve the most enlightening experience ever, and then he just turned real left and blamed the fans. You know, it's kind of how what J.K. Rowling's doing here. She had something that was fantastic and was just printing money, and they were making entire theme parks about it, and she's like, but no, no. But back to the article today in 2025, Harry Potter HBO series confirms casting for Dumbledore, Snape, McGonagall, Hagrid, and more. Now, some of these characters, I'm like, okay, I can genuinely see them matching up with the characters here. But Papa Aceto as Severus Snape, the dude is literally described in the book as a pale white dude with black hair, is now being race swapped as a black man. And J.K. Rowling is, I don't know why you guys are so upset. She's going to be okay with this. She's not going to complain. It morally lines up with her ideology that most of this stuff is interchangeable. The only thing that she actually rejects from the left is that men and women are interchangeable. So I don't see how any of you guys are gonna say like, no, no, she's totally gonna come out. And I've seen the Reddit threads. Oh, there's gonna be a J.K. Rowling lawsuit. She's gonna sue them for race swapping the characters. She is all for it. You know, you let these tourists in. You let them take over your favorite IPs, you let them take over all the companies, and now you're shocked and surprised Pikachu face, that they've taken everything you've enjoyed and just destroyed it, dismantled it to inject their political ideology. Hell, that's what this entire channel has been about since I started it. You know, it's their political ideology versus yours, and they're willing to go further. Because you guys just complain on the internet and stop there. They're willing to, you know, go out in the streets and yeet CEO executives They're willing to burn down your entire city, and you're just, you know, oh, I'll say something on Twitter that'll show them. Like, no, you have to be vocal about this stuff. And you have to be more vocal than the 10 weirdos in their parents' basements waiting for their mom to cook their Hot Pockets are, okay? They have 50 different emails. They will sit there and they have no life. So they will sit there and spam these companies with thousands of emails because they have nothing better to do than to try and make somebody agree with them. And then their mom tells them the Hot Pocket's ready, and they waddle over to the kitchen and just dive their face into the plate of food because they're absolute fat, disgusting piles of shit. That is who they are, okay? You trying to have a discourse with the people that are doing this is never going to work. It's never going to, and it never has. That's why we're at the point where we are now, where J.K. Rowling even made the movie about the gay Dumbledore, brought the fanfic into reality, and it's the worst selling Harry Potter movie of all time. All time. Not just like in the middle where you can see everything else. Like the Crimes of Grindelwald, I think that was the last one Johnny Depp was in. My God, that dude, Johnny Depp can act his ass off. He needs to be put back into the fore of being in movies. I know he's getting old and he probably doesn't want to, and he'd probably like to rest on his laurels and just go out peace and quiet. But like that's where the goodness of movies ended. When you guys got your gay love fanfic love story put on the big screen. And you thought you could put that back in Pandora's box and not have everything we got going on in theaters right now? We're the hottest selling movies. We're Deadpool and Wolverine and Moana 2. Like, I've covered that a bunch. Deadpool and Wolverine, I didn't think was going to be $1 billion success, but it was. And the Moana 2 that had almost no marketing just mysteriously released one night and made $1 billion. But we're talking about the Harry Potter modern audiences, the I have media literacy people can't even show up for their movie. That shows how much they don't exist and they don't matter to anyone in society. And no one should ever take anything they have seriously. But again, I don't know why anyone is upset about this and shocked that it happened. This was always going to happen. It's been in the works for the last 10 years of people race swapping J.K. Rowling's characters for the Harry Potter series and throwing it out there. And anytime anybody complained about it, they just called you the biggest or the ist and the phobe and the bigot and all the words. And you just shrunk down into little bits of nothing. And now here we are. The series you guys could have wanted, but is now being destroyed. And you know what? I love it. I love after all these decades of fighting off the tourists and nobody's standing up and saying a word. It has finally come for you. And I couldn't be any happier. I hope this entire series goes down in flames. I hope it loses so much money that another Harry Potter series and movie is never made again. That would be the best thing that could happen for this. But I want to hear everybody's thoughts in the comment section, guys. While you're there, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this one out. Until the next one, guys, be easy like sleazy.